do. We are on our first episode of Raw Dogging, a chat between brothers, one drinking, one molesting a lemon.
Delicious.
And you'll find out why we call it Raw Dogging when we get done.
This dog will be raw by the end of the story.
Indeed, it will be. Alright, first topic of business. Let's hit hard and heavy.
About what, though?
Let's do the state of the world. How about that?
God damn it. You're going to bring my racism out.
Yep. Alright. So, we're more like state of the world. So, in my opinion, I don't think we are learning the lessons that we're teaching our children and teaching other people. We just showcase them, say, ooh, look at the pretty colors and sounds, turn it off and call it a night.
Of course. You know why? I mean, look at it like this. Okay? We're teaching our kids right off the bat what our government wants us to teach them. Okay? In fact, what corporations, government, you name it.
Whoa, wait a minute. See, no, I'm talking about like in Disney movies and stuff like that. Disney,
Exactly. Who do you think controls Disney?
No, and what I mean is, back in early days of Disney, they taught freedom of self-expression. They taught standing up for what's right, and things of that matter. If they were teaching what the government wants us to teach, then they would be all for shut up, sit down and work, and this communistic ideology that we seem to be facing nowadays.
Have you not seen the Smurfs? That's exactly what they are.
I have not seen the Smurfs, no.
Well, I remember watching a review on the Smurfs, and that's exactly what it is, a communistic utopia. Everybody has their job, everybody has their place, everybody, is exactly what they're supposed to be.
Alright, well,
let me give you another one. Robin Hood. Steal from the rich and the wealthy, give to the poor. Usually, without fail, communists be like, that's exactly what we need to do. Communists, socialists, you name it. Any Marxists whatsoever, leftists in general.
yeah, but when put into practice, they kill off the poor and enhance the rich.
Exactly. Because they don't understand that, that's inevitably what's going to happen. All a socialist state or a communistic state is, if you really think about it, is capitalism, but with the government at the CEO table and running and operating things.
Yeah, but then you got movies like Soul, that we just got through watching, where the main character came to realization that he was a slave to his passion, and then he woke up. By the end of the movie, he woke up and he said, "Okay, I'm gonna start living my life to the fullest." And there's many Disney and Pixar movies that express that same purpose. For a government to try and enforce communism, they wouldn't want messages like that because communism doesn't support a lifestyle. Doesn't support people to live such a lifestyle.
No, it does not. But one could argue that it does support the Alphabet Mafia in regards to a, obviously female-sounding soul, which of course, newly created souls obviously are not gendered and therefore are gender neutral. Blah blah blah. But the point still stands: is a female-sounding soul stuck in a guy's body for a decent portion of the movie. But to each their own. It doesn't take away from the fact that the movie still has a pretty good, message in regards to, like you said, no longer being a slave to your passion and actually living life. Because a soul, whilst living in that dude's body, found their spark while living that dude's life, finding every little thing. Like finding value in every little thing as one should.
Exactly.
Breathing, eating, sleeping, you going to the bathroom.
I mean, maybe not that one, but seeing the limited wildlife that was in New York City, as it were, 22 was still able to find wonder and awe in such a small part that they've seen.
But you really do want the propaganda? Look at the mermaid, Little Mermaid. It may not be a communist mermaid, but it's still a leftist agenda mermaid, where they blackwash instead of whitewash. They blackwash the character to fit an agenda.
Oh please! Don't you know genders are black? Every ginger character that was originally red hair. Every ginger character back in the late 90s, early 2000s got blackwashed because gingers are black.
You know how stupid that is?
It's true.
It's the stupidest concept.
No, listen. Gingers
then
are
I must be black.
Gingers are inherently Irish and Scottish people.
Yes.
Irish, Scottish, and Italian people in America was treated just as bad, if not worse, than black people, especially back in slavery times. So it only makes sense that shown in our media that their roles would be interchangeable.
Makes sense to who?
Makes sense to people making movies in upper class. Because upper class movie makers, they would have, especially the older generations of the movie makers, they would have that mindset still roaming around in their small little noggins.
Retarded. But hold that thought. I'm back.
We're back in black and ready to attack. Alright, so...
Indeed we are. As we were saying about gingers not being black, because last time I checked, they have their own culture, they have their own identity. And last time I checked, have you seen a black ginger? They don't exist naturally.
I wasn't meaning literally. I was meaning that
metaphorically.
I was meaning
in a racist sense.
In a racist ideology. In a racist ideology, Italians and Irish and Scottish and blacks were all generalized in the same group because all three of those people had been slaves one way or another.
I can hear it now. Be like, oh, well, that proves right then and there that white people are just evil and blah, 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 right?
Well, the thing is...
Aztecs had slaves. Africans had slaves. Where do you think we got the slaves from? Where do you think we got the black slaves from? Other white people? No. We got it from black people. And
exactly.
Africa.
And there's Arab slave trades full of white people too. That's
in
happening to this
time. Yeah. In today's time, there's still a slave trade, sex slave trade, in regards to the Mexican slave trade. But then you also got the, Arabic sex slave trade, which of course in regards to Arabic women.
Right. But no, changing topics to something a little more violent. Let's talk about religion.
Oh Lord.
Oh yes. See, in recent years, well, necessarily this year, I've switched my religious views from atheist to a follower of Athena. And you switched your religious views in recent years from agnostic to deist, and now might as well call you a Christian.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself full-blooded Christian.
Wouldn't, but you're taking the truer teachings of the Bible and putting them in your day-to-day life.
And trying to put them to practice, yes.
So it does. You're more Christian than the fake Christians that hate people.
But that's why I don't consider myself full Christian. You know why?
Because you don't want to mix yourself up with the bad eggs of Christianity?
Exactly. Like, oh, what's this? I've discovered Christianity. I shall be the most obnoxious individual humanly possible, despite the fact that it goes against faith.
Well, no, but like, what I mean...
technically, if memory serves, there is a part of the Bible. I don't know how true this is, but somebody inevitably will correct me about it. That's an inevitability, because everybody be like, ooh, religion, ooh, what's that? Anywho. In the Bible, there is a story of somebody making fun of somebody else's faith because it's not Christian. Is this, a very valid way of going about things?
No. Making fun of someone else's beliefs just because it doesn't line up with your beliefs is not what we're meant to do. You can conversate them. You can try to convert them in a civil, peaceful manner.
I'm sorry, but making fun of flat earthers is a guarantee for me. I full-heartedly
support. Well, yeah, flat earthers are an idiot. But like, if you live on this planet and you sit here and say that the planet is flat, you dumb motherfucker. But you're in every right to believe that the planet is flat. It's your life. If it makes you happy to be an idiot, then then be happy.
If it makes you happy being an idiot, that's the equivalent of saying if it makes you happy being a zootophile.
The reason why... No. The saying ignorance is bliss has some merit to it, because a lot of people would say that I'm ignorant for believing in Athena because most people believe that the Greek gods and goddesses are mythology.
And most people will consider that I'm ignorant because, well, I believe in God. Or at the very least, I believe that there is a God, and I believe that Jesus more or less died on the cross. I say more or less because I don't think he truly died in an actual sense, but more along the lines of comatose in a grave for about 2 nights, 3 days, which is doable. And in those times, it would be believed that Jesus Christ did indeed died, and therefore would be written as such, and therefore
it was believed by the public of that timeline that he was dead. But in the mythology of Christianity, yes, I'm going to call it a mythology because that's what all religions are, is something to make people feel better about themselves that help. Basically, religion has been used the wrong way for centuries. And I believe that if people were to use religion the right way, which is to better their lives, better themselves, use the wisdom and guidance in the religions that they believe in to better the lives around them, give to the poor just for doing so. And it doesn't even have to be money. You can just feed them, give them a tent or something like that. Maybe not even,
give them a place to live.
Clean up the planet that you live on, for crying out loud. Shit, this planet is alive too. It breathes. Maybe not literally, but trees breathe.
Mm-hmm.
They inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen.
Somebody somewhere going to be like, "Oh, that's false." I'm like,
When you
Really?
cut, as Neil deGrasse Tyson says, when you cut into a tree, does it not bleed?
it doesn't bleed. It sweats. It sweats sap.
Exactly.
Da, da, da.
When you sit here, I mean, the vegans drink grass blood all the fucking time.
That's why we're doing vegans a favor by eating meat. Oh, this stupid concept of like, oh, I'm a carnivore or I'm a vegetarian. No, stupid bastard. You're an omnivore. You need your vitamins as much as you need your protein. You need your glucose as much as you need your vitamins and sugar and your protein. You need an equal balance of all of it.
Yes,
But
yes,
at
you
the
do.
end of the day, when it's all said and done, what matters isn't whether or not if you have an equal balance of all of this. It's what matters is whether or not if you do the necessary steps to stay alive. You know, not eat poison, not eat, not drink, poison, not eat drink, like eat drink.
I mean, everyone's going to consume poison one way or another, whether it be a metaphorical poison like porn and various music tastes
and different types of addictions.
yeah,
But at the
alcohol,
end of the day,
tobacco,
though,
weed, all kinds of shit.
As long as you don't consume poison, and long as you exercise, get out and exercise and socialize, you can live a very long and healthy life.
Yes, and to the audience, I am smoking a Black and Mild and drinking a watermelon flavored alcohol.
But
So-
the biggest thing is you gotta look into is genetics. Whether if you like it or not, if your family, like if, let's say the men in your family, all die one way or another in their 70s. Then whether if you like it or not, you're 25 years old, you done lived 1/3 of your life. Fuck it.
You might as well. I mean, you might as well drink. I mean, you might as well live your life the way you want to, as long as you're not hurting others. If you cause others pain in any way, shape, or form, without it, like, okay, so discipline for children, that's one thing. But if you're out here fighting people just to fight people, if you're out here,
But that's fun though. I love fighting people. Biting their heads off, biting their dicks off. Showing how tough I am because I got offended over a word or a sentence. I'm like, oh, what's this? You said the N-word 25 times? Oh, that's it. We scrapping. Come here, nigga.
right.
Like, with that said, fighting is a good thing. Fighting is wonderful. It makes society a better place.
If you can't settle your beliefs in a civil matter with someone else without escalating to physical violence, then you need to walk away.
Exactly. If you can't,
Now, then again, a lot of people will say that until you either have your ass whipped or whip somebody else's ass, you can't have respect for that other person.
which is stupid.
It
you
is
can't.
stupid.
You
It is
can't
stupid.
have
If you-
respect for somebody without beating them half to death. You can have respect and honor for somebody. It's called being civil. We live in a civilization. You either be civilized, hint, hint, or you don't, and be treated like a monkey. If you're going,
Here comes the rage comments being like, oh, monkeys. But the thing is, biologically speaking,
we are indeed primates, and therefore, is it really an insult to call someone a monkey? Would it be better yet a compliment at this point? Because you act like a savage fucking monkey. Might as well be a fucking compliment because we live in anarchy. Over there in leftist cities burning shit down, like, oh yes, wonderful, very.
Yeah, and they think they deserve reparations. Nigga, you didn't fucking. You're not a slave. You never were a slave.
Your
What?
ancestors may have been slaves.
Yeah, almost, not exactly, almost 200 years ago. Ain't nobody alive today owned a slave. Ain't nobody alive today used to be a slave. Not in America, at the very least. Unless you're talking about those illegal Mexicans that create slaves.
Right. Like, oh, what's this? You know, Democratic Party, damn near 200 years ago, you know, fighting to keep slavery. What a surprise. Democratic Party in today's time fighting to keep slaves.
Yep. Illegal slaves. Yes, illegal slaves. They want because they're wanting to keep illegal immigrants in the country, give them $2,000 and a nice hotel to make them think that they're not slaves, but they're working for 3 cents on a dime.
But the thing is, though, you just literally say illegal slaves. Do you think they would prefer legal slaves?
If there was a way to get legal slaves, obviously they would.
Tesla bots.
Eh.
All you have to do is just plug the little bastard in and call it a day.
Yeah, that's true, but like
But then we'll be...
the reason why Tesla bots and robots in general hasn't become as big as they are, not only because of the fear that our media has put in our head thanks to iRobot and movies similar and Terminator of all places, but it's also because it's just a feeling of power. You know, humans have this psychological deranged thought process that they much rather prefer controlling humans than controlling robots. You know?
yeah, it's in our biological nature.
That's why they even though we have all the technology to do it, you know, to use more and more robots in warfare, they just don't, because human blood is so much more satisfied when it's spilt
By other humans. But at the end of the day, though, like I was saying, though, it's human nature, because look at it like this, right? You know, when you put any number of humans into the same room, one way or another, they're going to try and establish some form of hierarchy. Whether
they're going to form a hierarchy, and there's going to be violence. It's guaranteed. Guaranteed that when you put say 10 people, you put 10 people in a room and you say your job is to escape, the first thing they're going to do is find an order of who's top dog, either with violence or with conversation, and that's rare.
Yeah. But like, oh, that's the alpha mentality. Like, yeah, you're right. The alpha and omega mentality was not for dogs, it was for people. It's in regards to people.
Yes, exactly. Because humans, as it was stated in the first Men in Black movie, humans are chaotic beings. When there's a panic, we all destroy the world around us because we don't know any better.
We all panic. Like, oh, what's this? You know, somebody beside me is panicking. Might as well panic as well. Instead of facing the threat head on. Speaking of panic and facing the threat, take mass shootings.
Yeah.
Without fail.
They're thinking there's going to be another one in Texas.
Oh, wonderful.
Yep. Texas is starting to implement more laws on keeping electronics and any other student belongings
In other words,
away
it
from
might
the
as well be
students.
planned.
Yeah, exactly. My thing is, if you're gonna raise a generation of technological users, giving cell phones to 3-year-olds, as it were, which I don't agree with, then you gotta face the consequences. The consequence of giving your children technology at such a young age is that they're going to be addicted to it by the time they hit school,
Mm-hmm.
And with us, when you take their technology away while in school, for one, that's their only defense.
Yeah.
That is their only defense when it comes to school shootings. Okay? Hell, a couple years ago, people were thinking about putting fucking bulletproof vests on their children, to just in case the school shooting were to occur, and that is a sorry state of being.
It is. But no, that's another thing though. Like, back to the panic bit, right? Look at it like this. All those school shootings wouldn't have occurred if everyone decided to try to mess over the school shooter. Now look at it like this. You're like, sure. You know, one guy, 30 rounds or 100 rounds. Okay, cool. You know how many rounds is in that gun. You know what that person is doing, where he's at, and yada yada yada. Well, you can send, 10 well-trained and well-armed teachers after this son of a gun. Each teacher having their own ability to take him out. Each teacher having at least 30 to 100 rounds.
Oh, please. No. With how violent our student body has become, and with how violent the response is from the teachers to these violent students, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because people don't know how to raise kids anymore.
No, they don't. Like, oh, what's this?
Because they think sticking your kid in front of a fucking TV all fucking day is raising kids while you're in front of a screen all fucking day. If both the child and the parent is in front of screens all fucking day and no human interaction at all, then that's not raising kids.
No, it's not.
That's brain fart.
It's not brain fart. It is, it's basically the equivalent of a cow being stuck at a slaughterhouse waiting to be slaughtered. Basically, all a cow does in a factory farm is stand and eat and munch. And then they start putting fucking, headsets on these cows so they can imagine being in a field somewhere. When in reality, they're stuck. Eating. Consuming. And that's all people are doing nowadays. Just consuming.
It's almost like Gorillaz was right when they made that song back in, 2001, 2003? Feel Good Inc.? The lyrics of that song is basically, real happiness, real love is free. It's out there. You have to pursue it. But we're too trapped in ourselves, in our mass-produced happiness, phones, drugs, sex, things of that matter.
Yeah.
That we feel like there's no need to escape. All we have to do is fork out a little bit of money, and then we'll be happy. The happiness is something you find for yourself. Happiness
is going to a bridge and fishing. Happiness is going, on a walk and discovering the new species of bug. Happiness is, discovering.
It's the simplicities of life. Is
Exactly.
Looking at the planet that you live on and say, hey,
I live there.
maybe this life isn't as ugly as I thought it was.
Yeah.
There's just an anime by that same name, This Ugly Yet Beautiful World, and I really want to watch it. I seen it on Netflix before I stopped using Netflix, because fuck paying $20 a month just for me to have ads.
Netflix really did shot itself in the foot. In fact, every social media service like that shot themselves in the foot by doing that.
Exactly.
But the hilarious, aggravating bit is people still watch these services.
Well, of course they do. They feel like they need an escape. They feel like they basically.
No, people want to watch their movies.
You can watch movies on pirate sites.
You can watch movies by buying the damn CD. buy the CD, you won't have to worry about pirate sites, ads, or any of that. But give it some damn time, next thing you know, the damn CDs will have ads.
They do, right when you put them on.
I'm
It's
talking
at least
about
30
in the
minutes.
movie itself.
I'm gonna be pissed if that starts happening.
That what we need a protest for. Like, oh, what's this? You know, somebody hurt my feelings. Somebody told me I can't use, you know, a bathroom of my choice. Like, you know, blah, 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 boo-hoo, boo-hoo, fucking shit.
No, speaking of bathrooms, though.
What we need a protest is, you know, get rid of all of these ads. That's what we need to start protesting. Making good products, you know, like actually good products, protesting in regards to roads. For example, we live in Louisiana. Louisiana has the worst set of fucking roads out of the entire fucking country.
You haven't been anywhere else in the country to say that.
Fair enough, but the point is that if you go down Louisiana, right, or any state like Louisiana, next thing you know, potholes, you know, like entire sections of road just gone, as it were.
And the thing is,
Not
almost all politicians, whether you're left or right, wants to better the roads and wants more money so they can better the roads. But do
and they
better
don't
the roads?
do anything about it.
Exactly.
Like, oh, what's this? Louisiana, you know, share the road, Louisianians. Like, how? There's no sidewalks. You know, there's no bike lanes. How are we supposed to share the roads? How are we supposed to make it where people can safely traverse, you know, these roads, air quote roads as it were, with each other without somebody dying? Not only that, but you got our power grid system. We figured that it was a better idea to bury our darn sewage, but we still think it's a wonderful idea to keep our power lines above ground. We're just now finding, you know, little pockets of civilization here and there that likes to bury their power lines underground. You know?
Yeah, well, the thing is with putting your power lines underground is the tectonic plates. You gotta account for that. The Earth is constantly moving.
Them pipes. Like you
Well,
can
as
say
we-
the same thing about water pipes.
Well, as we discovered, earlier today, we're not keeping up with our own infrastructure. So with us, even pipes is gonna one day be forgotten about. Despite the constant use, and they're not going to be maintained and taken care of like they should.
And then you got the fact that we're also overloading our damn infrastructure too. More cars, more people using the infrastructure in today's time. More people, you know, using cars on the roads, trucks on the roads. More people using water, more people using electricity. Our infrastructure is not designed to handle this exponential growth, as it were. Because no one has done anything to make it, like, work on it. One day we're going to lose our power. We're going to lose our electricity, our water, and everything else. Because no one has thought of the future. They thought of the 50-year gap in between being born and the time they die. Because you know who's in office? Boomers. They don't care about you and I. They care about themselves.
Yeah, that's why there should be an age limit on politicians. You can't you can't be a politician until you're 30, and you have to retire from being a politician by the time, I'd say, about 60. Once you hit 61, retire from being a politician. Go fucking farm or some shit.
Exactly. You have a couple $1 million in the bank. You know, maybe help society instead of hurt it.
Yeah.
Not only that, but there should be a limit on the number of laws, rules, and regulations made per year, so people can have time to adjust and adapt to the rules, laws, and regulations. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, don't get me wrong, when it comes to corruption in regards to CEOs, you don't want, corrupt politicians. You don't want corrupt CEOs to adapt, and everything.
Alright, pause.